we start with the five? The five. Should we start with the five? Who was the first? Martin.
Okay, take a blue ball and existence. Is there a relationship between them?
3.
Are there 4 possibilities, 3 possibilities? Are they mutually exclusive?
3.
Mutually exclusive.
3 possibilities.
Okay, 3 possibilities. So, take a blue ball, and if it is a blue ball, it follows it is not existence.
Why?
Pause an example, please.
Blue rubber ball.
Blue rubber ball? Good, fine. So, if it is a blue ball, it follows it is existent.
Except?
If it is existent, it follows it is necessarily a blue ball.
Why?
Pause an example, please.
Red ball.
What ball?
Red ball.
Red ball. Okay, good. If it is not a blue ball, it follows it is necessarily existent.
Why?
Pause an example, please.
Horns of a rabbit.
Fine. Okay. So first of all, blue rubber ball, right? Yeah. So take the blue rubber ball. It follows. It is a blue ball.
Why? Except.
Okay. Take a blue ball. It follows it is not a blue rubber ball
Why?
because it doesn't fulfill the definition of a blue ball.
Reason not established.
Please posit the definition of a blue rubber ball. Yes.
A blue ball.
Yes.
A spherical substance that is fit to be a blue hue.
Great. Thank you. So take a blue rubber ball. It follows it is existent.
It is existent except?
Okay. Take a blue rubber ball. It follows a not existent.
Why?
Because it does not fulfill the definition of existent.
Reason not established.
Please posit the definition of existent.
That which is ascertained by valid cognizer. Is that what it is? What is it? That which is observed by
valid cognition.
valid cognition.
By valid cognition, right. So next time was a red ball. So take a red ball. It follows. It is necessarily a blue ball.
It is a blue ball.
It is a blue ball.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, it is a blue ball. Yeah.
Why?
Okay,
Why?
thank you.
Why?
Take a red ball. It follows is not a blue ball.
It is not a blue ball except.
Good. So I just go on, not with the definitions. It's good. So take a red ball. It follows it is existent.
Except.
Take a red ball. It follows not existent.
Why?
Because it doesn't fulfill the definition of existent.
Reason not established.
Please posit the definition of existent.
That which is observed by valid cognition.
Great. Okay. Take horns of a rabbit. It follows it is a blue ball.
Why?
It follows is not a blue ball.
Except.
Fine. Take horns of a rabbit. It follows it is existent.
Except. No, why?
Okay. Take the horns of a rabbit. It follows not existent.
Except.
Okay. Take the picture in your mind which is appearing when you think about a blue ball, and take the picture which is appearing in your mind when you think about horns of a rabbit. Is it the same?
Why?
Because both are a thought in your mind.
No provision?
Okay. Take when you think about a blue ball, it follows it is an image in your mind. when you think about a blue ball, it follows. It is an image in your mind. Except, take horns of a rabbit. When you think about them, then there appears an image in your mind.
Except.
So take these both images. Are they substantially one?
Why?
Because they have the same substance.
Reason not established. Are you saying with each other?
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Why?
images.
Why?
Because they have the same substance.
Reason not established.
Okay. They are the same.
Martin, that's so good.
Yeah, but I have to go on. But they are substantially one, not? It's not right? Substantially one? The idea, the image in your mind? From two things or substance? Good, okay. So, can you please posit the definition of substantially one?
That which is a reason without separable natures. Phenomena that are a reason without separable natures.
So when you, the thought of one thing have to be so I think, no. The thought of one thing is the same that the thought of another thing, the substance.
Why?
Because they are not differentiable, or what was it?
They don't have different, what is it? Separable
Separated
natures.
natures.
These are not established. They have separable natures.
So, take the image of the blue ball which is appearing in your mind. Take the image of a blue ball which is appearing in your mind, and take the image of the horns of a rabbit which is appearing in your mind. When you think about them, both are thoughts, right?
Except.
Okay. Take a thought. It follows it is not existent.
A thought? Why?
Take a thought. It follows it is existent.
Except.
So the horns of a rabbit is a thought, and it follows it is existent.
Why?
Because you can think about it, and it is an.
But you're saying it so beautifully, but just try and make it into a syllogism. See if you can. Take the horns of a rabbit. Yeah.
Take the horns of a rabbit.
Yes.
They are existence because
Why?
you can think about.
No
it.
pervasion. No pervasion. Now, when I say no pervasion, when anyone says no pervasion, ask them to say it.
No pervasion?
Just because you can think about it, it doesn't follow it isn't existent.
Yeah. Okay. When you think about something, it follows it is an ascertainable object.
Why? It follows it is necessarily, you mean?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it arises in your, what is it? It has a reason. No, what is it?
Just hand him the list.
Huh?
Just give Martin the list of definitions, please.
No, thank you. Because it can be comprehended by a valid cognition.
Reason not established. Martin,
No.
which doctor did you go to when you were sick?
Mr. Cusa.
Yeah. It's okay, you're fine. Just keep going like this, please, okay?
Okay.
In 1 week, from saying I don't understand the English to thinking, at least you're thinking in syllogism. You're fine. Just keep doing it.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Really, it's perfect.
Thank you.
Really, really. Thank you. Really.
Who's
If
next?
anyone feels stuck, please go to talk to Q, sir. Really, that was perfect. Thank you, Matt.
Thank
Someone else? Who's next? Can we just finish? Let these 5 people finish their debate, and then we'll start the questions. Who's next? There was Martin. There was. Let's do it, Jay. There was Martin, Jay, Pooja, Venerable. Okay. So we'll do 4. No. You also had a meeting? Oh, all the nuns had a meeting. Okay. So let's do Jay and Pooja. Jay, yeah.
Di Juta Chochen. Take condition, phenomenon, and motherhood. It follows it has relations of mutually inclusive, mutually exclusive, 3 or 4.
Motherhood.
Motherhood.
3.
3. Okay. If it is conditioned phenomenon, it follows it is necessarily not motherhood.
Why?
Example.
What the hell is motherhood? Motherhood.
It's the nature of being a mother.
Right. The motherhood of.
And only you can only
Is
have
Frida
3
spayed? Has Frida been spayed? Okay. Did she have puppies before? No. Okay. My sister's pregnant dog. There.
Wait, this doesn't go along with the syllogism I planned. Denied. No, I'm joking. My sister's pregnant dog.
Yeah.
Okay. If it is conditioned phenomenon, it follows it is necessarily motherhood.
Why?
Example.
My father.
If it is motherhood, it follows it is necessarily conditioned phenomenon.
I guess, probably, yeah, except.
If it is not motherhood, it follows it is necessarily conditioned phenomenon.
Why?
Example.
The idea of motherhood.
The idea of motherhood.
The idea of motherhood of an infertile human.
Infertile human.
He's come up with a very interesting subject. I have to reply in kind.
You're supposed to give simpler answers, Atisha. Okay.
My sister's pregnant dog is the first one. Last one, space.
Space, okay. Take my sister's pregnant dog. It follows it is conditioned phenomenon.
Yeah, except.
Take my sister's pregnant dog. It follows it is not conditioned phenomenon
Why?
because it does not fulfill the definition.
Reason
of
not established.
Positive definition of conditioned phenomenon.
That which is fit to arise, cease, and endure.
Okay. Take motherhood. It follows it is necessarily. Take motherhood. It follows it is my sister's pregnant dog.
Motherhood is my sister's pregnant dog? Why? The other way around. My sister's pregnant dog is motherhood.
Take my sister's pregnant dog. It follows it is motherhood.
Yeah, except. Except?
Take my sister's pregnant dog. It follows it is not motherhood
Why?
because it does not fulfill the definition of motherhood.
Reason not established.
Posit the definition of motherhood.
According to Jay, the definition of motherhood is the state of being a mother. Is that what he said?
The nature of being a
Nature,
mother.
sorry. The nature of being a mother.
Okay. Take my father. Did you say my father? Take my father, it follows it is conditioned phenomenon.
Except.
Take my father, it follows it is not conditioned phenomenon.
Why?
Because it does not fulfill the definition of conditioned phenomenon.
Reason not established.
Posit the definition of conditioned phenomenon.
That would just fit to arise, cease, and endure.
Take my father, it follows it is motherhood.
Why?
Because it fulfills the definition of motherhood.
Reason not established.
Posit the definition of motherhood.
The nature of being a mother.
Being a mother. Okay. Take space. It follows it is conditioned phenomenon.
Why?
Because it fulfills the definition of conditioned phenomenon.
Reason not established.
Posit the definition of conditioned phenomenon.
That would just fit to cease, arise, and endure.
Take space, it follows it is unconditioned phenomenon.
Except.
Take space, it follows it is motherhood.
Why?
Because it fulfills the definition of motherhood.
Reason not established.
Posit the definition of motherhood.
The nature of being a mother.
Okay. Take Tibetan Buddhism. It
Oh.
follows, it believes that everyone was your mother,
Everyone is my mother.
is your mother.
Is reason.
your-
Why? Definitely not.
Definitely not.
Is my mother? No.
Take Tibetan Buddhism. It follows everyone has been your mother.
Except.
Okay. You were supposed to answer the other way.
Oh, I see. Sorry.
Take Tibetan Buddhism.
Uh-huh.
It follows mother is substantially one with motherhood.
Yeah, okay. Except.
Take figurative speech. It follows the term your mother is always right.
It's always right.
Uh-huh. Is a conditioned phenomenon.
Except.
Take this figurative speech came about for a reason.
Except. Yeah.
Take I was your mother in your in your past lifetime.
Uh-huh.
Oh, what was that? Please answer. Cha.
You didn't ask me a question. You said take, what did you say? Take the speech, I was your mother in my last life.
And
What's-
you accepted.
But what was the question again? What was the question again?
Take the figurative speech, your mother is always right. It follows it came about for a reason.
Except?
Take I was your mother in your past lifetime.
Huh? What are you doing? Is that a predicate?
Take because I was your mother, it follows I will always be right.
Okay. Why?
Because you accepted that there was a reason.
No pervasion.
Why no provision?
Just because I accepted there was a reason for why the statement, the mother is always right, has been, there is a reason for the statement, it doesn't follow that the mother does have to always be right. The reason for that statement is to make you respect your mother, not because they are always right.
Denied. Take motherhood, it follows it is one entity with mother.
Oh, yeah, accept.
Take motherhood, it follows it is different entity from mother.
Why?
Because there are many reincarnations of being a mother, and your aggregates are always impermanent.
No
with
provision. No provision. I think I get what you're thinking. No provision.
no provision.
Are you thinking that motherhood is like a larger category than mother?
Yes.
Like it
correct.
applies also to people who are not mothers? Is that what you're thinking?
No, I'm thinking you'll always be a mother.
You're thinking everyone is always a mother,
Will eventually be.
will eventually be,
Wait.
therefore they are within the category of motherhood. Is that what you're thinking?
Yes. What's your thinking?
So, no, I'm trying to get what you're thinking. So you're thinking right now you are not a mother, like you're not my mother, but you may possess motherhood with respect to me. Is that how you're thinking?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Then prove to me, I've said that they're one entity. You can prove that they're not one entity if you want to do that.
I can prove that they're not one entity.
Because you have an example of something in your mind that is not a mother, but has the category motherhood, which is, for instance, you or anyone else, right? So you
Correct.
can say it follows they're not one entity because they have separable natures, and then you can try and
yes.
develop that. Got it? Yeah. Want to try?
Yes.
Yeah, do it.
Okay. Take motherhood, it follows it is not coexisting and substantially one with motherhood. Is that
With mother?
with mother?
Why? Why? I'm saying why.
Because it is no, did I say not coexisting substantially one with mother?
Yeah,
Why?
yeah.
Because the aggregates are not permanent with one entity.
No provision.
Oh shoot. Why no provision?
Just because the aggregates are permanent and not one entity. Is that what you said? Is that what you said?
That the aggregates are not permanent.
That the aggregates
With
are not
aggregates.
permanent and one entity, it doesn't follow that they are not coextensive, substantially one. Yeah, something like that. Are you feeling comfortable navigating syllogisms though?
No.
But you're making them.
You know, I will say using more terms that are easier to understand, like
Yeah.
motherhood.
Yeah.
It's easier for me to now start to understand it.
Okay, okay.
But I'm not comfortable with the vocabulary yet.
That's fine, that's fine. But you're comfortable with being able to form syllogisms and stuff like that, right?
It's getting there.
Okay,
Getting there.
I mean, that's what we're concerned with.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's totally fine. Thank you.
Okay.
I like what you were thinking about the one entity, but see, if you wanted to break this one down, you could do take mother and motherhood, it follows they are not one entity. And then when you're thinking not one entity, you just say because they don't have inseparable natures, or because they have separable natures. When you're thinking one entity and you want to disprove one entity, you have to disprove the meaning of one entity, right?
Which goes back to
And one
negation.
entity is not having separable natures. So if you want to develop that idea, you can say it follows they're not one entity because they don't fulfill the meaning of one entity, the definition, then I'll get to say it, and then you can test whether they have separable natures.
This goes back to that negation thing, right? Where one
Yeah.
puts the other.
Exactly. Yeah? You can develop ideas like that.
Okay, I will
Thank
work
you.
on it.
Thanks, Jay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take two, phenomena.
Hmm.
Yeah. I sound so loud all of a sudden. Okay. Take two phenomena, effect of functional thing and causally related to functional thing. You can posit a relation in regards to mutually inclusive, exclusive, 4 possibilities or 3 possibilities.
What? Say that again?
Effect of functional thing and causally related to functional thing.
Effect of functional thing and causally related to functional thing. I'm going to say they are mutually I'll say 3.
Okay.
You're all nodding, very convinced. I'm going to say mutually inclusive.
Really? Okay, jeez. So if it is an effect of functional thing, it is necessarily not causally related to functional thing.
Why?
Pause it.
Second moment of functional thing.
Second moment of functional thing. Okay. If it is an effect of functional thing, it is necessarily causally related to functional thing.
If it is effect, except, I have to say yes.
If it is causally related to functional thing, it is necessarily an effect of functional thing.
Except.
If it is not an effect of functional thing, it is necessarily causally related to functional thing.
Why?
Pause it.
Functional thing.
Sorry?
Functional thing.
Okay.
You have an example of something? Do you agree, firstly?
I don't know. I'm just going with it.
So if you don't know, then try and intervene. If you agree, then we can switch over to something else.
If it is like mutually inclusive.
Yeah, if you don't agree that they're mutually inclusive, then you have something that you can suggest.
Yeah, this is not the one I did before, so I was just thought like I could go on with you, but yeah. So take second moment of functional thing. It follows, it is an effect of functional thing.
Except.
Take second moment of functional thing, it is not, it follows, it is not an effect of functional thing.
Why?
It's not an, second moment of functional thing is not an effect of functional thing because it does not fulfill the definition of being an effect of functional thing.
Reason not established.
Can you posit the reason not
That
established?
which is produced by functional thing.
That which is?
Produced by functional thing.
Take the second moment of functional thing, it follows it is causally related to functional thing.
Except.
Take second moment of functional thing, it follows it is not causally related to functional thing.
Why?
Because it does not fulfill the definition.
Reason not established. Reason not established.
Can we do the next one?
Which one? Yeah.
I don't know how to challenge this.
Are you feeling stuck?
Yeah, because I haven't done the pre-thinking on this, so.
There was a lot of
Okay.
people who were nodding their head when I said 3. Let's see what they have. But borrow one of theirs. So let's assume this was a group debate. Okay?
Yeah.
Pooja's stuck. It's your job, the other people who are participating, to offer or suggest something to her. What could you suggest to intervene? Or to challenge? Or are you all convinced that this is right?
Right?
Or functional thing.
So take second moment of the functional thing, it follows that it is the effect of the first moment of the functional thing.
So accept.
Take second moment of the functional thing. Sorry. Yeah, that's what also I'm thinking, yes.
So Puja, they're thinking something. Take what they're thinking and do it. No, you keep it. But take what they're thinking and then you challenge with it. Says who?
Substantially one with function thing. Okay.
I'm totally lost right now.
They're saying that second moment of functional thing is one entity with functional thing. And that's why it can't be causally related. Right? Causally related says it has to be related to it and intrinsically different, no? So they're trying to do it by saying second moment of functional thing is not intrinsically different exactly. It's not intrinsically different from functional thing. That's why it cannot be causally related. That's what they're trying to do. You want to try it? Try it. Do it. This is actually a good debate.
Not when I know what, I don't know what to say.
Someone just start her off.
Take second what? Okay, take functional thing and effect of moment of functional thing. Okay, wait, like let me just go to another one. Look, can you continue? Let him do it.
Take it.
Take effect of functional thing and second moment of functional thing. It follows they're one entity.
Yeah, except.
It follows they're causally related.
Effect of functional thing.
Second moment of functional thing and effect of functional thing.
Except.
So you accept both?
They are causally related. Why? They are one entity.
Oh, okay.
I said functional thing and second moment of functional thing are causally related.
Functional thing and take second moment of functional thing. It follows it as one entity with functional thing
Why?
because it doesn't have a separable essential nature.
Reason not established.
It follows it does have a separable essential nature.
Except.
Take effect of functional. What are the two? Effect of functional thing? And
No, just functioning thing and second moment of functioning thing.
Take second moment of functional thing. It follows it is functional thing.
Except.
It follows you can have effect of functional thing that is not a functional thing
Why?
because they're different entities.
No provision.
It follows they have separable essential natures.
Except.
It follows you can posit a second moment of functional thing whose nature is separate from functional thing.
Yeah, except.
Posit it.
Second moment of functional thing.
Okay, okay, posit how they're separate.
Like this.
Okay, it follows they're substantially one
Why?
because take a second moment of functional thing and functional thing, it follows they arise.
They arise, except.
It follows they're one entity.
Why?
I thought, okay, wouldn't that be a tzad?
Why?
Didn't you say they're one entity?
Why?
Which two phenomena did you say were one entity?
Effect of functional thing and second moment of functional thing.
Oh, okay, take effect of functional thing and second moment of functional thing. It follows they arise.
Except.
It follows they're one entity.
Except.
It follows they're substantially one.
Except.
Follows if they're substantially one, they have to not appear separable.
Except.
It follows functional thing and effect of functional thing appear separable.
Why? A functional thing and effect of functional thing, except.
Okay, I'm lost. Which are the two you said were causally related, and which are the two?
Functional
you said,
thing and second moment of functional thing.
and the two you said were one entity were
Effect of functional thing and second moment of functional thing.
Okay, it follows you can perceive second moment of functional thing without also perceiving functional thing.
Yes. Go on. Oldies, come on then. Oldies not in age, I meant in, they've been doing it for a while. Go on.
You want to go? What constitutes the second moment of functional thing?
That which arises after functional thing, before the third moment of functional thing.
It follows those two are different entities.
Which two?
Second moment of functional thing and functional thing.
Except.
So it follows there are different entities by virtue of you saying so.
Why?
Because every time I ask for a reason of why or how, you say because they are so.
Reason not established. Never said it. I don't think I said it even once yet.
So it follows the second moment of a functional thing is matter.
Why?
Okay, it follows second moment of thing, functional thing, let's see. No, I don't have anything now.
Cause of, no. So she said effect of functional thing and causally related to functional thing. Those are mutually inclusive.
Take second moment of functional thing and functional thing. It follows they appear diverse to a direct mind.
Except.
It follows that you can see second moment of functional thing as separate from functional thing.
Except.
Wait, so it follows that take a blue ball and functional thing, it follows they are
Blue ball.
one
blue,
entity.
Blue ball.
Blue ball, yeah.
Yeah.
It
One
follows that blue ball and functional thing are one entity.
Except.
It follows they are one entity because
Because they fulfill the definition of being one entity.
it follows that they don't fulfill the definition of one entity.
Why?
It follows they don't fulfill the definition of one entity because a blue ball is an effect of functional thing.
Reason not established.
Take blue ball, it follows another effect of functional thing.
Except.
Take functional thing, it follows it is not a cause of blue ball.
Except.
If it is a functional thing, it follows it is a cause of, it is not a cause of blue ball.
Oh, why?
So take second moment of functional thing. It follows it is an effect of functional thing.
Except.
It follows it is a functional thing.
Except.
It follows it is not a functional thing
Why?
because it is different entity from functional thing.
No provision.
Take second moment of functional thing. It follows it is functional thing because
It is impermanent.
it is impermanent. That's excellent. How many champatis are you making?
None. It's effect of functional thing, it's an effect. Therefore, it is functional thing.
So, okay. So take functional thing. It follows it is not that, and I don't like debating with Atisha.
Instance and generality you can do, na? Take second moment of functional thing, it follows it is one entity with functional thing because it is an instance of functional thing. You have a lot of material lying around now. You have generality, instance. You're doing one entity and substantially different, that's nice. But don't forget there's also generality and instance. There's also fulfilling the definitions. There's all that as well, right? So you can use that. Yeah? Okay? Okay, stop. Pooja, you have something you want to do? Okay, you doing it again next time. Okay? One thing. So it'll probably be Tuesday evening. By then we'll be done with Dura. I mean before. No, next Tuesday. Okay? And it might be also one of the last few days that Gen is here. Maybe Wednesday would be the last day that Gen comes. Next Wednesday. So I'll confirm by tomorrow morning, but on Tuesday night, we will have a group debate of Duda. Every time we finish one subject, we'll have a group debate of that subject. So because Duda will be done now, we'll have a group debate. We'll prepare 3 debates from Dudra. Yeah? Each one lasting about 15 to 20 minutes. Okay? Hopefully Rinpoche and Gen will both come. Your job now, over the next week, will be, hopefully by like tomorrow, to decide who's going to answer. So 2 people will answer. You'll sit, for the entire duration of that group debate. And then 3 people will start different debates. So amongst yourselves, choose who's going to be starting each one of the debates. And then as a group, keep the 2 people who are answering, keep them like COVID patients in quarantine. And the rest of you meet and decide and discuss and prep your debates for Tuesday. So Tuesday there'll be a group debate. The whole thing will last about an hour, 20. So we'll do 1 hour of a group debate, okay? Is that clear? Next week, yeah. So I'm giving you 1 week advance. There'll be 3 challengers, 3 starters, then everyone will challenge with them, right? Like, you remember when you were doing that, when Gen came that one day? It'll be like that. There'll be 2 people, and then you'll start challenging like in the smaller debates, and everyone helps. But when you're meeting with each other, then you just prepare. Now the preparation of a group debate is, this is what we've prepared, these are the 4 questions. If they say this, how do we challenge this? If they say the opposite, how do we challenge? So you don't go in expecting certain answers, you try and prepare for all possible outcomes. Okay? You can pick any topic from Dudra, all the way from the beginning to the very end, anything. Okay? Yeah. No, this will be just one group. It'll be all of you together. It'll be 3 different challengers, same group debate, okay? No, so all of you as a group will prepare all 3 debates. Yeah? Got it? And then a different person will start each debate. But because you've all prepared it as a group, you can all debate each one of the questions together. 3 separate debates. 1 debate for 20 minutes, another debate for 20 minutes, a third debate for 20 minutes. It's all one group. The whole thing is one group. That's it. No, 1 person starts each question, no? Got it? No. 1 person starts each question. Like, when you do the evening debates, each person gets up and does one thing like that. No, the only thing is the person who's starting is kind of taking on the responsibility to see it through. Okay? That's it. And everyone else is going to help. See it through in the sense, you know the question, you're asking the 4 questions, you know how to start intervening, everyone else is getting up to help. You've all done it together, but the starter takes the responsibility of steering it. Does that make sense? Like, you're the conductor of the symphony. The starter is the conductor. Everyone else knows what's going on, but you're conducting it. Yeah? Okay?
You said 2 people answered?
2 people will answer, yeah. You need to choose who those 2 people are. Okay? You all decide who those 2 people are. Clear? 1 sec. Is this clear? Is this clear? Any 3 questions from Dudra, starting from colors, shapes, all the way to negative and positive phenomena. Okay? Which we'll have finished by tomorrow. Okay? So you'll have 1 week starting tomorrow to prepare whatever debates you want to do. Okay? I guess you'll sit and you'll just decide with each other. Yeah? Okay? So on Monday afternoon, in the 3:30 time, okay, in the 3:30 time on Monday afternoon, the 2 people who are answering can go away and we can all meet and then you can tell me how you prepared your thing and I'll help you just fine tune it if you want. Okay? Yeah. Okay. So that's done. Yeah. Mark, you had a question in the morning. You wanted to ask something, Jason? Yeah, go.
Follows they're not mutually inclusive. I think it was functional thing and causally related to functional thing.
No, her question was effect of functional thing and causally related to functional thing. That's what she asked.
Well, I'd like to explore the one with Sprout being causally related.
You ask me a new question, I'll give you answers. Ask.
Okay. Take one with sprout and seed. It follows they're causally related.
One with sprout and seed.
Yeah.
They're causally related. Oh, that one. Why?
Because they fulfill the definition.
Nice. Reason of what?
They fulfill the definition of causally related.
Reason not established.
Okay, posit the part of the definition they don't fulfill.
They are not related.
It follows they are related.
Why?
Because if you do not have one with sprout, because in the absence of one with sprout, it necessarily entails the
Reason not
absence.
established.
Sorry, the absence of one with seed necessarily entails the absence of one with sprout.
Reason not established.
It follows you can have one with sprout without one with seed,
Why?
because the absence of one with seed necessarily entails the absence of one with sprout.
Why?
So it follows you cannot have one with sprout without seed.
Except.
But it follows one with seed's absence does
You know
not.
what? Let me just switch it. You can have one with seed. They're not related at all. There. You cannot have one with seed. You can have one with sprout without seed. Now this is my new position.
It follows you can't have one with sprout without seed,
Why?
because you can't have sprout without seed.
No provision.
It follows you can have one with sprout without sprout.
Except.
If sprout is non-existent, it follows you can have. It follows a non-existent can be one,
Why?
because if sprout is non-existent, it can be one.
Reason not established.
If sprout is non-existent, it follows it can't be one.
Except.
If sprout is non-existent, it follows it can be one,
Sprout is non-existent, follows it can be one. Why?
because one with sprout is not, because you can have one with sprout without sprout.
No provision.
What no provision?
If you can have one with sprout without sprout, it doesn't follow that sprout is non-existent.
I don't think that was the predicate.
Say it again.
Not a non-existent one. If
What's your subject?
the subject is, I guess, I'm not sure how to state it. It's like if sprout was non-existent,
Okay.
then you can have one with sprout.
Why? Because you can have one with sprout without sprout, so no pervasion will be. If you can have one with sprout without sprout, it doesn't follow that if sprout was non-existent, you can have one with sprout.
Posit the meaning of without.
Without means in that moment. It doesn't have to be there.
Take, it follows you can have sprout without seed,
You can have sprout without seed. Why?
because in that moment you can have sprout without seed.
No pervasion. Ta.
Huh?
Yeah. So I have to change the meaning of without. Without means now, no, or not in that moment, or never existent.
Or,
Either.
okay, in that moment,
Either
Or
in that
what?
moment, or never.
or never. Take never, it follows it refers to the future.
No, never means never.
Never ever.
Never ever. Never have I ever.
I feel like you could just say never. I don't
I
think
said
you did.
never.
Yeah, okay.
No, not never, because sprout is not never non-existent. But you can have one with sprout without sprout in the moment when there is no longer sprout. That's my point.
You can have one with sprout.
In a moment where there
Without
is no
sprout.
sprout, yes. I'm just saying it, let's see. Argue it.
Oh, that makes sense.
Does that make sense?
It follows that just because you can have one with sprout without sprout in a moment where sprout doesn't exist doesn't
Yes.
mean that one that
That's what's not related to seed.
sprout is causally related to seed.
It doesn't mean that sprout is not causally related to seed. That is what I'm saying.
Wait, so take the meaning of in the absence of seed, a sprout doesn't exist. It follows it means that in that moment of sprout not existing, you can,
No.
in that moment of
Why?
seed not existing,
Why?
you can have sprout.
Why? Yeah, why?
So just because you can, okay. So you can have
You can have one with sprout,
one with sprout in a moment where sprout doesn't exist.
where sprout is not there, where the seed is there, or where the seed is still to come. That's why the seed doesn't have the power to necessarily entail the absence of sprout. One with sprout, sorry. The existence of one with sprout is not contingent on the existence of seed.
In that moment or never.
Yeah, exactly.
So if sprout had never existed ever,
Yeah, then you can't have one
Then
with sprout. Got it.
you
Exactly.
can't have one with sprout.
Except.
It follows the meaning can't be just in that moment,
Why?
because that which is causally related to something can't exist in the same moment as that thing.
No provision. If something that is causally related can't exist in that moment, it doesn't follow that that is not the meaning of causally related.
That is not the meaning of
Causally related, no? Does that make sense to you? There's a lot of silence. I think Jason's the only one who's doing this debate. Yeah, but the definition has first that it's related, no? Related means that it is different from that, and the non-existence or the absence of that necessarily entails the absence of the other one. The absence of seed doesn't necessarily entail the absence of one with sprout. Absence means if that thing ceases to exist, then if that thing ceases to exist, in that moment or later on, you can't have the other thing. So if seed doesn't exist, it doesn't mean that in that moment or later on, you can't have one with sprout. You can still have one with sprout later. You can have it in that moment. You can have it before seed.
Are you holding out just a position in debate or in general?
I'm exploring it in general, and that's why I'm holding it in debate. I want to try something, which I've also remember from when we read something earlier. Can you try this? So as it stands currently, Mark, if they are causally related, it has to be functional thing. That's my position. I'm just saying.
Wait, posit the reason.
I just did.
Could you posit it?
Because if that is
briefly?
a permanent thing, the non-existence of the other one necessarily entailing the non-existence of another one is only if that permanent thing is one entity with the other thing. If they're two different entities, then there is no necessarily entailment between the two. So one with sprout cannot exist if sprout does not exist. So the non-existence of sprout necessarily entails the non-existence of one with sprout. But the non-existence of other things doesn't necessarily entail the non-existence of permanent phenomena. Could work. If this doesn't work, there's another way to go about it.
You said that's the position of the text?
No, not really. The text says something else. The text says, for instance, you'll see this. I mean, it doesn't matter. You'll hear all these things later. They'll come gradually.
So if all those things cannot be causally related?
Why?
It follows if they're related, they must be one entity?
Why?
I thought that's what you just
No,
said.
permanent.
Mm,
For permanent things, they have to be one entity. Is what I'm
I
saying.
see. Okay.
Hmm.
That's precisely the confusion because the text is saying differently, right?
No, where? Where does it say differently? That's what you thought.
So it
No
follows.
provision.
So it follows that one with sprout has to be connected to a functional thing.
Yeah, except
What functional thing?
sprout.
So it follows that if sprout does not exist, there in the moment if sprout is absent, one with sprout is absent.
Except.
It follows that if seed is absent, one with sprout is absent.
Why?
Because sprout is absent.
No pervasion.
What no
Make a
pervasion? What-
Take,
What
make-
no pervasion? What no pervasion?
make the syllogism. Where's your subject? There's no subject in your syllogism.
But you could say no pervasion.
Yeah, I can say no pervasion, but I want it to be clearer. What's your subject?
Take one with sprout.
Okay.
It follows that when seed is absent,
Huh.
one with sprout is absent.
It follows when seed is absent, one with sprout is absent. Why?
Because sprout is absent.
No pervasion.
What no
If
pervasion?
sprout is absent, it doesn't follow that when seed is absent, one with sprout is absent. You've tied it into seed, haven't you, when you said it like that?
Take seed.
Seed.
Take horns of a rabbit. It follows. It follows one with sprout is absent.
It follows one with sprout is absent.
Yeah,
Why?
because sprout is absent.
Reason not established.
Take horns of rabbit at the time of seed.
Okay.
Take at the time of seed.
At the time of seed.
It follows that one with sprout is absent.
Except. Nice try.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's a thing over here, it says, can you think of a pot before you make a pot? Can you think of a pot before you make a pot? Right? You can, right? So you can have a generic image of pot before a pot. If things are imputed, they're not temporally bound. Correct? So permanent things are not temporally bound. Causally related, if you have to tie something down to something else and there's a temporal element to it, then that temporality is only extendable to temporal things. Otherwise, it's a nature thing. So permanent phenomena can only have one entity with related as intrinsically related. This is my take, I'm not saying it's right. Permanent phenomena can only be intrinsically related because intrinsic relation doesn't have a notion of temporality.
Couldn't you say that in general seeds exist and in general sprouts exist?
Yeah, you can.
And therefore, if seed doesn't exist, you couldn't have the generality of sprout existing. And therefore...
You can have, so generality of sprout, do you mean the generic image of sprout? Do you mean sprout? What do you mean?
So maybe I shouldn't say generality.
That's why it's not clear, right? So what do you mean, sprout not
means-
existing?
Seed of any time
Uh-huh,
and sprout of any time.
uh-huh.
It follows that without seed of any time, sprout of any time cannot exist.
Seed of any time is a permanent phenomenon.
Reason, I mean, why?
Because when you're adding that it is temporarily there in different moments, it is by definition permanent. You have said one thing is there in temporal different moments. That's how you've qualified it. Have you heard of this? I mean, of course you haven't heard. Why am I asking you? Think of it like this. If I say pot, pot exists yesterday, it exists today, it exists tomorrow, right? I existed yesterday, I existed this morning, I exist now. But take the me that existed this morning, that existed now, and existed yesterday. I that is temporally tied to being there in three different moments is with the qualification of being one thing in three different separate moments. That is only possible if it's permanent. So there's a distinction. If it exists in three different moments, it follows it is permanent. Why? If it is something that is characterized as being there in three different moments, then it's permanent.
And how can you say in that moment it is that thing?
In that moment, it is that thing, is it looking at it in one particular moment. You're not looking at it over an extended period of time, right? Yeah, no, temporally means in three different temporal moments. No, not. If you say pot, you're not thinking about it in three different temporal moments. You're just thinking about pot. If you say the pot of yesterday, this morning, and now, Take the pot that existed yesterday, this morning, and right now. Then you've thought of a generic pot that is devoid of all of its momentary disintegration. That's permanent. This is a little advanced, but it's fine. You're all advanced enough. So if one thing is characterized as remaining in three separate moments, it has to be permanent. Correct? But if it is something that remains, no, if it is something that exists in one moment and in another moment and in another moment, it doesn't have to be permanent. Like, for instance, pot. Just do this. Take Thukje. It follows she was here yesterday. Just listen. It follows she was here yesterday. What do you mean? Take Thuje. It follows you ate.
Thukje, the person.
Take Thuje, the person. It follows she ate breakfast.
No, the body and mind had breakfast. The body had breakfast.
Fine, fine. Take Thujje's body. It follows it had breakfast.
Accept.
Take Thujje's body. It followed it had lunch.
Accept.
Take Thujje's body. It follows it had tea.
Why?
You didn't have tea?
I was too late for tea.
Okay, fine. So, take Thukje. Okay, take Thujje's body. It follows it was there in the morning, this afternoon, and it's sitting here now.
Accept. Yeah.
It's fine, right? No problem. But take that body of Thukje that was there this morning and this afternoon and is there right now.
That's permanent.
That has to be permanent because I've qualified it as one thing that's there in the morning, in the afternoon, and right now. I've qualified it as such.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's what we do with
Yeah.
self. Yeah.
So, yeah, anyways, this is, yeah, that's what it is.
Okay, thank you.
For now.
Yeah.
For now. Yeah. That's an instance of time. Not an instance of a generality. Then there's instances of generalities as well, right? So instances are temporal and spatial. That's generally how it is. So atemporal things are then those permanent things. That's why, I think that's why the text is going to be saying why, if it is causally related, right? It's saying it's causally related means they're two separate entities, correct? They have to be two separate entities. So if they have to be two separate entities, either they are simultaneous or they are sequential in a temporal connotation, correct? Simultaneously, one thing going cannot do anything to another one. Sequentially, if one thing goes, the other one has to go because it is temporally linked to the previous one. But permanent phenomena are atemporal. So they are not tied down to this temporal thing. So the generic image of the MacBook, this is my favorite example, existed before, was it Steve Jobs who came up with the MacBook? It was him, right? Before he made it, there was the generic image of a MacBook. You have to think of things before they happen, you know, if you're an inventor. So the generic image of a MacBook is atemporal. The generic image of dinosaurs exists right now. Doesn't it? Can you think of a dinosaur right now? It's not. Of course it's not. The generic image is the permanent thing. How is it the cause of the MacBook? No pervasion. That's not what generic image means. This is fantastic. This means my theory is true. None of you have understood well what Buddhists mean by imputed phenomena. So, can we do a very brief thing of that? Do a quick debate. We've done this debate. Don't write anything down. There's nothing to write in debate. Just listen. Is there a human in this class? In this hall, is there a human? Is it substantially existent? Yes? It produced by causes? It was born from your parents? No, it was born from yours. No, yours. No, yours. Where's this singular human? Whose parents were they born from? If that human is in this room and is substantially one, or is substantially existent, it means it has to arise without separable natures, or it has to arise with separable natures. The second you qualify it as being substantially existent, it has to be one of the two. Correct? Right? Whose causes did it arise? Did it arise from a separable nature as venerable? The human in this room. You've all had a problem with saying pot is substantially one with functional thing. Functional thing is not substantially one with pot. You've all struggled with this, right? But now think of it like this. Take human being in this room. Like if I kill one of you, will I go to jail for murder? Right? So by killing one of you, I've killed a human. Right? So the human is substantially existent in this room. There is a human substantially existent in this room. Right? Okay? It follows that human has arisen. It follows that human has arisen with a separable nature from me. Except. And a separable nature from you. And a separable nature from each one of you individually. So take all of us out of this hall. It follows there is a human who will still be in this hall. Because it has arisen with a separable nature from all of us. It follows it has not arisen with a separable nature from all of us. It follows it doesn't have a separable nature from me. Human. It follows it doesn't have a separable nature from you. It doesn't have a separable nature from you. Right? So it follows that there is a human, one singular human that is here and here and here and here. Is that what we're saying? Right? Now that human, got it? So that is, take human, it follows it is substantially one with you. It follows it is not substantially one with you because it has a separable nature from you. It follows it has a separable nature from you because it's here. It follows it's here, but it doesn't have a separable nature from him. It has a separable nature from you. No, take human that is not separable from Abhishek. It follows it has a separable nature from Abhishek because it is here. It follows something that is here doesn't have a separable nature from Abhishek. What is the meaning of separable nature? Now you're all going to use Gen's definition, no? Come. What is it? No, separable nature. That's part of the definition, right? What is the meaning of separable nature? Now make sense of it. Huh? Different cause. Yeah, so fine. Take the human that is, one sec, take the human that is substantially one with Abhishek. It follows it has a separable nature from Abhishek because it has a different cause from Abhishek. Does it have a different cause from Abhishek? It follows it has a different cause from Abhishek because my parents are the cause of that human. Cause of the human that is there. It follows it is not the cause of the human that is there. Take the human that is there. It follows it's not substantially one with me. Except, take the human that is there. It follows it is not substantially one with all of us. It follows there's no human that's substantially one with all of us. Which one? Where is it? In the mind, then it's not substantially one. See, this in the mind that you're saying, in the mind means it's not substantially one. Because if it's in the mind, has it been made by causes? If it is in the mind and it is a human, it has to be born from parents, right? Who are the parents of the human in your mind? Abhishek's parents are the parents of the human in Archana's mind. No. So who are the parents of the human in Archana's mind? Archana's parents are the parents of the human that is Archana. Right? Are you getting slightly tripped up with this? Yeah, that's what it is. So substantially one is something that you can say. Why do we say the generic image of pot is permanent? Because it looks like a pot, but it is not a pot. Remember the definition of generic image? It is something that appears to the conceptual mind comprehending it as pot, but is not pot. So it looks like pot. Through it, you will think of pot. So like through human, you'll think of all of us. But then when you go and look for that, whether it is a human or not, defined as human is someone that has been born and performed certain functions, you will not find a source for its birth. If you don't find a source for its birth, you can't say it is human. That's why the generic image is permanent. So permanent things cannot have causes. If they cannot have causes, they can't perform functions. If they can't perform functions, Maya, they cannot have effects. So the generic image of a MacBook Pro, or the MacBook which was not the Pro back then, it was that nice spacious looking box, that is permanent. Now this is that whole apoha thing that you read today. That's the proof that is going to come. So I'm glad that you're looking spaced out. Please understand that this is slightly subtler reasoning. Yeah, and you need to be able to follow it later. Okay? What is object universal? Yes. Huh. Have to be permanent. They are by definition permanent. What do you mean why? Because it says imputed. Then there won't be generic images. Because generic images have to be connected to real things. If you have instances that are generally images of what, for example, dreams? So think of it. That's what I'm asking you. Think of it. Think of a pot, for example. That thing that appears to you, does it look like a pot? Does it lead you to engaging in pots? What is this object? You're thinking of a pot, right? So is that the generality of all the instances of pot that you see? It's what connects you to pots, right? Conceptually, that's what's connecting you to pots. Is it or not? But we've had this discussion already. We've all had this discussion. When you're all thinking of different pots, you're not thinking of pot, you're thinking of a type of pot. Right? So that's not part of the discussion right now. We're talking about when you're all thinking pot, which is facilitating conversation between each other of what pot is. Okay? That pot. Again, what are you talking about? Okay. If it is changing moment by moment, it has to be caused. What is it caused by? What does that mean? The experience of pot is what? So the eye consciousness that earlier saw pot, that is the cause of that? Right? If that is the cause of that, then does that image engage with the pot that you saw with your eyes? It doesn't. So through that image, you don't engage in real pots then. Do you engage in real pots through that image? One sec, just yes or no. Do you engage in real pots through that image? Do all real pots get encompassed by that image? So is it the generality of all of those pots? Is it one entity with all of those pots? Is it substantially one with all of those pots? Was it caused by the causes of each one of those pots? Do you see how, I'm just showing you how the reasoning in the text works. That's what they're saying. We have no problem with it being one entity. We have no problem with it being one entity. That's what we're trying to say. Huh? Yeah. So you're asking me, I'm asking you. Okay, it follows it is substantially one with all of those instances? It follows it is substantially one with all of those instances? It follows it arises from the causes of a silver pot? It follows it is one entity with silver? It follows it is not substantially one with the silver? It follows it doesn't arise from the causes of the silver pot? It follows it doesn't arise from the causes of the golden pot, of the clay pot, of the ceramic pot, of the iron pot, the wooden pot. It follows it arises from other causes. It follows it doesn't encompass those pots. Because it's not one entity with any of those pots. It follows to encompass them, it doesn't have to be one entity with them. Why don't pots encompass pillars? Take this generic pot, it follows it encompasses things that are not pot. It follows it encompasses pot. It follows it as a different entity from pot. From pots. It follows it as a different entity from pots and it encompasses them. What does encompass mean? If it creates the ability to know something, it follows it encompasses that thing. So take pot, it follows it encompasses pillar. Because you can create the ability to know pillar by calling it a pot. It follows you can't. So why does this generic image encompass all those other pots? Because there's something in pot that's not pillar. Those individual pots. Why does that generic pot encompass silver pot, golden pot, big pot, small pot, red pot, blue pot? They're all flat-based things that has the ability to hold water, that's why it encompasses them. But it is a different entity from all of them. It follows it is substantially different from all of them as well. So it follows it's produced from the causes of something other than all those causes. It arises. From which causes does it arise? Not of those pots. Find that then. If it arises from a cause that is not the cause of those pots, then how can you say it has any relation with those pots? It's like this pillar is produced from the causes of this pillar. A pillar in America is produced from the causes of a pillar in America, and another one in Sri Lanka is produced from the causes of the pillar in Sri Lanka. But you're telling me this pillar encompasses that pillar. How?
Also, I'm not understanding the connection between examining causes and momentariness.
I don't think momentariness matters. You're looking at substantially one. Also, generality and instance, when you're looking at generality and instance, we didn't get there, but take all those instances. It follows they are substantially one with this pot. It follows they're not substantially one with this pot. It follows this pot is not the generality of those instances. It follows those are the instances of this pot. It follows they are substantially one with this pot. It follows they are one entity with this pot. It follows they are not substantially one, but they are one entity. It follows they are substantially one. Yeah, those pots and this pot, it follows they're both substantially one. Because they arise with non-separable natures. You said both arise. And you said they're one entity. Right?
Yeah, but maybe my initial question is, couldn't a generic image be changed moment by moment?
But we're checking, no, Mark? That's the whole point. We can say that, but then when you test it, this is the kind of thing that you have to test, no? You can say that. No one's saying you can say whatever you want to say, right? But then when you test it, how are you going to test it?
I'm expressing that I don't see the connection between the causal aspect and the momentary.
Oh, like that. Well, momentariness is because it's induced by something else, no? How else do you talk about... Why is momentariness related to production? Have you, any of you got an idea? Huh? No idea, right? Okay, then it's fine. Then there's not much to discuss. Why is momentariness related to production? Wow. Now, you remember Gen's thing? Now let's do it. What's the definition of an uncle-auntie Buddhist? No, seriously, I want to really show you. What's the definition of an uncle-auntie Buddhist? Exactly. What is the definition of a genuine, by definition, Buddhist? Someone who knows these three? What do we call the four seals? What's the first one of the four seals? All conditioned phenomena are impermanent. Prove it. Prove it. Seriously. That's the first of the four. Sure. How? I'm not saying you don't know it. I'm asking you how. Why does production entail impermanence? Try.
Take, if it is an unconditioned phenomena, it follows it is necessarily impermanent.
Unconditioned phenomena.
Sorry. Take a conditioned phenomena. It follows it is. I guess I'll just start with the.
You know what? I'm going to now be the non-Buddhist. You debate.
Yeah, I'll just start with the seal.
Yeah, start.
So all conditioned phenomena are impermanent
Why?
because if it is a conditioned phenomena, it is necessarily permanent.
Necessarily
Sorry,
permanent.
necessarily impermanent.
Why?
If it is an unconditioned phenomena, it follows it
You're
is.
saying unconditioned, huh?
Yeah, I don't know why I keep saying this.
Yeah.
If it is conditioned phenomena, it follows it is fit to arise, cease, and endure.
Except.
If it's fit to arise, cease, and endure, it follows it changes.
Why?
Because if it's fit to arise, it follows there's a moment at which it has not arisen.
Except.
It follows after it arises, it has arisen.
Except.
It follows the phenomenon before it has arisen, the phenomenon after it has arisen are different.
Except.
So it follows this is a phenomenon which changes
Why?
because it changes from the moment before it arose and it changes.
Reason not established.
So it follows it arises without changing.
It arises without changing, except.
It follows arising does not entail change.
Never.
It follows it arises, endures, and ceases without changing.
Except. Arising is first is there, then it's not there. No, something was not there and then it came to be. That's arising. Ceasing is there and then no longer there.
Take a.
One sec. Yeah, then?
So therefore, something that was not there is now there.
Yeah.
Something that was absent is now there. So it
Yeah.
follows that the phenomena is changing
Why?
because it's moving from something not being existent to
No pervasion.
what no provision.
Just because it's moving from not existing to existing, it doesn't mean it's changing. In our text, we have also occasional permanent. I've been telling you for a long time. Now I can reprimand you. I've been telling you for 4 weeks. It's not so simple. It's not so simple, impermanent. Permanent is not so simple. It was not there, now it's there. It's there, it'll no longer be there.
Take a moment, it follows, it arises, abides, and disintegrates in that very moment.
Why? Why does it have to abide and arise, cease and disintegrate in that moment? Who says?
Take a cause, it follows it substantially one with its effect.
Substantially one with its effect. Why?
God, I just got lost.
Take the composite phenomena, it is made up of parts.
Yeah.
And take the parts, it follows they are made up.
Of more parts. Yeah, so, except.
And so take those parts, they are constantly changing.
Why?
So take a cause
Very
and its
nice.
effect, it follows it's not.
No, carry on.
It follows that it's not substantially one.
What?
A cause and its effect.
Except.
So it follows that it changes
Why?
because the thing and then the next thing are not substantially one.
No provision.
So they can be substantially different but not have changed.
Except.
Uh,
How
Positive
like
definition
this?
of
Stare at
substantially
it once, different. Huh?
Puzzle the definition of substantially different.
Substantial or definition is arising with separable natures. It
So-
arises with separable natures. It has separable natures. They both arise. Both are permanent.
So it follows they have separable essential natures, but
Except-
they are
Permanent.
not
Except.
changing.
Except.
What is the definition of permanence?
Phenomena that are non-momentary.
What's the definition of momentary?
That which disintegrates and changes in each moment.
Take pot before it has arisen and pot after it has arisen. It follows they're substantially one
Why?
because they haven't changed. It hasn't
No
changed from
provision.
before to after.
No provision.
Take the definition of momentary,
If it is momentary, sure, but this is not momentary. Nothing that you see is momentary. Prove it. Should I make it harder for you? This is how we think. You know what we think? We think things endure till something comes and acts on it. That's how we think disintegration is. It will disintegrate, not in that moment. So our view, even though we are Uncle Auntie Buddhists, is that things are permanent. And our view that things are permanent is because they are not there, then they are there, then they remain for a while, then something acts on them and they stop existing. So during their abiding, how are they changing? Do you really feel like they're changing? We don't. That's the meaning of occasional permanent. Our Uncle Auntie Buddhist, mine also, I'm not saying only you, is that we believe things endure in a permanent manner. Yeah? So first prove to me that prove to yourselves, not to me, prove in each instant that they are disintegrating while they exist. That's what impermanent means. The first seal is not easy. So do you get why momentary? Momentary by itself doesn't mean anything. Momentary by itself has no weight. Remember, the other day Gen said, but it's not just Gen. Without understanding that it is something is making it be momentary. You have to have an agent that leads you to understand it's momentary. Then your conviction of momentary gets stronger. Because how you're imagining it is you're saying there's a generic image, correct? It stays for a while and then it goes away. Then how are you thinking it's momentary? Yeah, but why are you saying it's changing moment to moment? Because you can just say hypothetically that it is. But why are you saying it's changing? That's my question. Because it flutters, right? So you're talking about fluttering. But that's in one moment it's like this, in the next moment it's something else, in the next moment it's something else. That's not momentary. That's also another proof that you can use. Momentary means in each moment it is disintegrating, Mark. The real understanding of momentary. Not it's there for 1 minute, in another moment it changes, and then another moment it changes, and then another moment it changes. That's obvious gross impermanence. Non-Buddhists, of course they know that. You really think when they're looking at the clouds and they see cloud formations doing this in the monsoon, they're going around saying this is not changing. They're not so daft. Give them some benefit of doubt, right? No one is so daft. You can, but that's not the understanding of momentary. That's the point I'm trying to make. That's not it at all. It's not the understanding of momentary. Because the understanding of momentary is the one that has to remove your conviction that it could be permanent. Looking at things temporarily changing aspect doesn't remove the conviction that they're permanent, because the view of certain non-Buddhist schools is things are permanent but they change aspect. The nature is unchanged, it changes aspect. Something else comes and intervenes. That's why if you have someone who breaks a pot, then you get upset. Because you broke my pot. Yeah, it was permanent till then something has to intervene. One of my teachers also said that's why we put skin cream. But I think it makes sense. It's like a very drastic example, but if you thought that your skin is always deteriorating or is always changing, then you'll never have the notion that you can prevent the sunlight from outside that is making it change. We all do things because apparently we feel that change is induced from outside. It's not an inherent quality of things.
Okay, then take that destruction.
Yeah. That is permanent. That's why you'd hold on to it, because it's permanent. That's what the Buddha said at least, right? The first one is the grasping at things being permanent. Got it? Are you all sure now? Tell me the truth. Let's just have fun. Are we not Uncle Auntie Buddhists? Please tell me the truth. We're really Uncle Auntie Buddhists. Right? It makes sense why you have to do these things. Right? Even if I'm telling you all this substantially one reasoning, in about 2 weeks you're going to have to start hearing it. Not 2 weeks, 1 month you're going to start hearing it. If you can't follow the reasoning, then you'll be like, we'll all be in the same boat that we were before. The Buddhists say stuff that sounds very convincing. But are we able to follow the reasoning? No chance. Even the first seal is hard to prove. I think you have to have dinner now. It's really true though. I really, really mean this, please, yeah? So one second, can I just give you a few things to try tonight? Yeah? Can you just do a few relations with the negative and positive phenomena? So just do with generality of positive phenomena and negative. Your A is generality of positive phenomena and your B is negative phenomena. Negative phenomena. Your second one is negative phenomena and substantially one with pot. Then your third one is pot and negative phenomena. Then pot and negative phenomena. Then positive phenomena and generality of negative phenomena. That's your fourth. Your fifth is positive phenomena and instance of negative phenomena. Sure. The fifth one? The fourth is the positive phenomena and generality of negative phenomena. Yeah? And then your fifth one is positive phenomena, instance of negative phenomena. The sixth is different from negative phenomena and positive phenomena. Different from negative phenomena and positive phenomena. Then definition of negative phenomena and negative phenomena. Definition of negative phenomena and negative phenomena. Yeah? Something that, then the next one is something that fulfills the definition of negative phenomena and negative phenomena. And then the last one. Yeah. Something that fulfills the definition of negative phenomena and negative phenomena. And then the last one. Different entity from positive phenomena and negative phenomena. Let's see you do this. Last one is fun. Something that is a different entity from positive phenomena and negative phenomena. Yeah? Phenomenon, phenomena, whatever you want. Yeah, if I say nun, then the na gets out. If the na comes, then the nun gets out. So it's, yeah. Okay, you can use both. Okay? Yeah, okay, done. Yeah. You don't get to do all of them, no? Yeah, it's normal. Oh, it's okay. It's fine. Also, now the nice part. You're all doing phenomenally well. It's fine. Don't worry. The thing with having lots of them, right, is not just for debate. Also, sometimes when you have these funny things, you can just sit down in your room and you don't know what to do, and you just play them out in your mind. Like I have our IBD book, the one that we use at IBD, is just like this encyclopedia that's jam-packed. So every now and then, when I'm not wasting time on my phone in a 10-minute break, I'll just pick it up and read through, and I'm like, oh, that one looks like fun, and then you just do that. So you can do them all the time. You can even keep them for later, and then when you go home, or you have this long break in between, you'll have a nice list of things that you can work at. Yeah. So it's just a helpful repetition to have. Even if you can't get through all of them, don't worry.